This is Chad Hemingway with Property Casualty 360. We're here in West Texas, where on April 17th, the West Fertilizer plant exploded. We're here to find out how the town is doing a month later and speak to Mayor Tommy Muska, who is also an insurance agent, a volunteer firefighter, and whose house was damaged, destroyed by the explosion.
When I saw the black smoke, I was in my house. My house was completely annihilated there where I was sitting. If I would have been sitting when it blew up, I probably wouldn't be here, I don't know. So I go and I looked at the apartments, and then I go around to the high school area, and I parked my truck and I'm walking. I'm about a block and a half away when it blew up. The wind was blowing, but it was blowing in the opposite direction, and all of a sudden my hat went off behind me. And I thought that was very, very strange. I mean, just because it just shot off. And then a millisecond after that, I heard it, and right after that I felt it. So I picked up my hat. You know, I didn't realize debris was flying everywhere, but I guess it was. I just got lucky, you know, or blessed, or whatever you want to call it. Got back in my truck, and then the first thing I noticed in my truck was my rearview mirror on my windshield was gone. And that's when I know, you know, I saw it laying in the truck, and I said, well, you know, this was big. And then I just turned from fireman to mayor, and then I started triaging and getting everybody to the football field. We treated 200 people and got them to the hospital in a matter of 2 hours, and evacuated 133 people out of a nursing home that no one got killed in, and you know, evacuated that whole half of town in about 4 hours' time. I had, probably 20 some odd houses that were completely demolished in that zone 3, and then I don't know how many have been damaged. And then, of course, I had the school, and I had the nursing home, and I had the apartments. So I got beat up. Hoheim Insurance is a farm mutual that I represent here, and I know that in the first 3 weeks they paid out $13 million. In the first 3 weeks. So they were Johnny on the spot and have just been exceptionally good. The school claims once the architects and the engineers do it, they'll probably pay out policy limits, which is about $60 million. The nursing home is going to be paid out in full. They were insured for $6 million. Our infrastructure is not covered under the policy, so our sewer is good. We smoke tested our sewer. Sewer's got a few issues in a few places, but nothing major. Water for that area is going to be a major issue, and the city's immediate need right now is to go in and just replumb, put new lines down for water. And that's going to be about a $3 million cost. We've got great coverage. We've got enough to cover our tanks. Now, the other problem there is that we have coverage to pay for them, but we need them now. And it's going to take a while, bidding process and all, to build those those storage tanks. That place has to be here. We cannot not have this town without a fertilizer plant. This is a rural community. Our main industry here is agriculture. We got farms all over the place. These farmers got to have that fertilizer. They can't go to Dallas or Waxahachie and get that and come back down here and spray it. That ain't going to happen. It's got to be by rail, because all those chemicals, all the fertilizer is coming in one way, pretty much, and it's through the rail. And obviously with the rail here, that's where it was. It was here long before the community even built out that way. It was there. The plant's not actually in the city limits. The plant's outside the city. Part of it is, but the actual plant's not. So, you know, the city kind of grew out in that direction. Is that negative on the city? No. Everybody grew up with that plant being there, and nobody, you know, everybody grew up with this railroad coming straight through town. Well, this railroad's got those same chemicals every day coming through here. So you know, what are you going to do about that? You can't really move away from that either, and you've got probably some chemicals on the Interstate 35 that's just the same way. So you can't look at where I mean, you can mitigate it to a degree, but that's as far as you're going to go. It most likely will be a couple miles outside of town, maybe where there's not as much population, unless they come up and say, look, this is how we're going to build it. It's going to be a brand new. It's not going to be an 80 or 70-year-old building that's framed. So that's good, you know, making the metal building that won't burn. you know, new wiring. The people in town are resilient. They are very strong. They're very religious and strong people, and they are going to be fine. I'll tell you that my strength comes from one thing, and that is that I lost Nick right there in 2005. If you lose a son, this ain't nothing. Nothing compared to that. In a strange way, God prepared me for this moment from a long time ago. I truly believe that. And that's what you know keeps me positive, keeps me going.